we're back here on a Thursday on Radio Row. I've been here all week long, courtesy of Munganast St. Louis Acura, Munganast Burkhardt Alton Toyota, Fast Eddie's Bon Air, Western Illinois University, and Trice Consulting. And hey, it's one of my favorite events during Super Bowl week. It has been for years now. It is the Taste of the NFL, and one of the guys behind that, he is Chef Andrew Zimmern, and he joins us now. Andrew, pleasure to have you.
Oh, great to be here.
We were talking yesterday with Anne Marie on the other day, and we were
CEO of Gen Youth.
Yes, and we were talking about just how many years you have been involved with the Taste of the NFL. Well, how many is it?
Well, technically, I was driving by the first one. It was the night that I arrived in Minnesota 31 years ago, January 28th of 92. And then it took me about 10 years to meet Wayne Kostrowski, the founder. And I've been involved I was on his board and involved in Taste the NFL for the last 20 years. A couple of years ago, he passed the production baton from his organization, Hunger Related Events, on to Anna Marie and her team at Gen Youth. And it's been a really, really wonderful and inspiring journey. I mean, oftentimes when there's a retirement or a passing of the baton with something like this, that the people who take on the event don't quite capture the spirit of it. And, with COVID, to take that baton and then all of a sudden get kneecapped the way the live sports industry and get together and live events industry was very difficult. Last year, we put on an incredible show in LA. This year, even better here in the Valley of the Sun. We're finally back to the numbers that we were at. I think we're going to be between 2,500 and 3,000 people. Dozens and dozens of chefs from all over the country. Majority of them here from the Phoenix Scottsdale area, which is great that we're really paying homage to the local chefs here, because they're the ones that are, chopping wood and carrying water here in this environment. All the money raised goes to hunger relief efforts around the country. Gen Youth focuses on working in schools and providing hunger relief to students. And they do it a bunch of different ways, but most importantly, by leaving really sustainable programs intact. So they will come in, not only will they do sports, nutrition, and wellness coaching, but they'll leave programs behind for it, endowed programs. They also retrofit kitchens and get equipment back into schools, allowing young people to eat healthier, not just that day or that week or until the money runs out, but permanently, because they've actually put equipment in and started programs with the money to allow for schools to continue or to begin to cook again healthy, nutritious food for kids. It's vitally important work. Statistics say that 1 in every 8 children in America is hungry. There's a lot of stigma associated with hunger. People aren't jumping up and down, and parents aren't signing forms that says, yeah, my child is hungry. The real number is probably about 21%. That's criminal. This is the greatest country in the history of the world. We can't have hungry children. That's ridiculous.
And you, with your jobs that you have done over the years, Travel Channel, Food Network stuff, you have traveled all over the world. And is this, when you see it and you compare to what you see throughout the world to the U.S., does that anger you that here in the U.S. we don't have the resources?
Beyond anger, because we do have the resources. We could statistically end all hunger in America, which is at about 24%, in about 3 weeks. We have the food, we have the distribution system, we have the trucking system, the transportation system. We have all of it. We have hungry people in America, and we are tilling food under the soil because we don't have people to pick it. You have to understand that, when it comes to food and food waste, and I'm the global ambassador for food waste for the United Nations World Food Program. I'm the nutrition global ambassador for the International Rescue Committee. So I know of what I speak. We have a situation here in America where it's almost like a Mobius strip. If you jump in on hunger and waste, you eventually on this Mobius strip will bump into immigration, climate crisis, economic development programs, all those kinds of things. We have to have a holistic agency, one that is in charge of all these things as it comes to food. We're going to heal our system. It's very, very badly broken, and I think we need a cabinet level position for food. Food represents such a massive piece of our GDP. Independent restaurants alone, that's no chains, no hotels, no bowling alleys that serve pizza, no supermarkets, no food companies. Just independent restaurants alone in America are over 5% of GDP. Just to give you a little taste of what the actual number is, we need someone in charge. I think we need a national food czar, a cabinet level position to coordinate the effort to actually make sure that people everywhere are receiving healthy, nutritious food. Everywhere the public dollar intersects with food, we're underserving people. Jails and institutions, public hospitals, public schools, you name it. The fact that we don't have a free national school lunch program in a country like this is crazy. You mentioned traveling.
That's something that they've tried. They've worked on.
No,
not
state by state. We're doing it,
and that's maybe I live in Illinois, so I know.
Here's the issue: Governor Pritzker in your state is doing a phenomenal job and is actually trying to launch a free school lunch program. Governor Walz in my state is doing the same thing. These are very, very socially progressive governors who understand the challenges that are involved, but most importantly, they're like, it doesn't matter what it takes. We got to feed kids. Right? Mm-hmm. Got to feed kids. Look, we have laws in the books that say school books and pencils have to be given to kids who can't afford them. We're not going to feed them a sandwich at lunch and give them a hot meal to take home and feed them breakfast in the morning. And by the way, not just do it 9 months a year when school's in session. It's craziness. When I travel around the world, I see a lot of places and communities that are time poor, that may be dollar poor, and ones that are time and dollar poor, but not food poor. In other words, if they're in a rural environment, they're in a warm weather environment, they can grow food forever. They're not hungry. And quite frankly, they're happy. They don't need the money, right? They have plenty of time. Their issues are different. Their issues are how do those countries modernize and join the modern world without getting hopscotched over where decisions are made for them. That's a whole different moral and ethical issue, and I leave that to other people to decide. I don't work on those issues. I work on food issues. And the crime here in this country is that having the solution in hand and not utilizing it is technically a genocidal position. And I'm every time I say it, it doesn't frighten me. I continue to be scared at the fact that the people who need the warm hug that food gives the most aren't getting it.
What are you looking forward to most on Saturday?
Oh my gosh, having a good time. As serious and as doom and gloomy as I get sometimes about the reality of what's going on the ground, I'm a solutions-based person. So we're going to throw the best party. We do it every year and have for 31 years. It has become everyone's favorite event at the Super Bowl. Celebrities, football players, Hall of Famers, and 40 incredible, national caliber chefs, all cooking different foods. It's a blast. We're going to have a really good time. Great giveaways, Super Bowl tickets. Miss America is going to be there. I mean, come on, great food, Miss America, free beer.
That sounds like a good time.
It's as good as it gets. And by the way, again, all the money that's raised actually goes to Gen Youth. GenYouth.org. Find out all about it. TasteTheNFL.com. Tickets. If you can't buy tickets, donate. If you can't donate, copy the URL and tell all your friends on your mailing list about the hunger issue in America, especially with children.
That's Andrew Zimmern. Thank you so much.
Oh, no, thank you.